Transferring schools is one of the scariest things I've done, and no one ever really talks about the experience that much. If you're thinking of transferring, going to, or already have, I'm going to tell you all the things I wish I knew before I began my transfer process. Hi, if you don't know me, my name is Mary. I transferred from Emerson College in Boston, which is a very liberal arts school, to the University of New Hampshire, which is my state school. And I never thought I would end up at my state school over my dead body. I was going to be here. And yet here I am. I transferred out of my last school. I didn't feel connected to the school itself, and I didn't really get along with a lot of people. And also, I wanted to get a more general education in business, and the learning style was a little bit tough. I had a lot of things to pick with that school. No shame to Emerson. No, no shame. UNH, I'm currently a business student. I'm studying marketing. Shocker. Even when I got here, it was still difficult. I still struggled with social life and all those things. This video probably focused more about social and those kind of things because those are the things that I struggle with, and that's what I feel like I can speak on the most. I just wanted to first talk about some common emotions that I felt that people feel, just to make people feel like they are less alone and just validate some feelings. First thing, did I feel like I made the right choice and finding the right place? There's always a difficulty, and there's the illusion that, like, college is amazing and college is your home. And so when I went to school for the first time, I was like, this doesn't feel like home. This doesn't feel like my place. So I feel like it's so easy to feel like you are at the wrong place and where do I belong? And struggling with the fact that you made the wrong choice or you may have made the wrong choice again. And that's just something I always felt. Feeling like you failed at your old school. I always felt like this personally every time I went home. I think back on it. Sometimes I feel like I failed. I could have done better. Having to catch up socially and academically with your peers is a huge one. You feel like you're so behind because everyone starts up at different points, but you're at a really weird point, and it always felt so weird to be so behind yet at the same level. And last, just wanting to give up. I felt this so much. I just wanted to commute. I wanted to give up on college. I was like, maybe college isn't my thing. And the feeling I felt of just giving up so often in the past year has been absolutely insane. So if you relate to those feelings or even just one of them, you're in the right place. You get me, I get you. Now I'll talk about the tips that I wish I had when I went into this feeling those emotions. Tip number one, push yourself, but prioritize your mental health. There's a really delicate balance with these two things. First off, pushing myself. If I didn't push myself, there were so many people I wouldn't know now. There's so many clubs I wouldn't be a part of if I didn't say, let me just, I don't feel like it, but I'm just going to push myself. There's so many opportunities I would have missed if I didn't do that. And I'm so grateful my past self for saying, all right, I'll go compliment those people's shoes. You know what? Sure, I'll go back to dinner with them instead of my roommate. I'll give this club a shot. It's all those little things of just kind of saying, even if I don't feel like it, you got to push yourself. Especially the beginning of my school year, at both of my schools, pre transfer, post transfer, I wanted to go home all the time. But sometimes when I forced myself to stay, good things come out of it. I had amazing experiences. I had good football games and things like that. But also, sometimes I pushed myself too much. I didn't go home because I felt like I should stay, and then I ended up being so burnt out because I was just there at school and I didn't have time to breathe. Sometimes I said yes too much and I was doing all these things and my social battery's going down, and it can get so exhausting constantly seeking friendships and trying new things and doing all this stuff. So you have to remind yourself it's okay to take a break. You don't always have to push yourself. You have to make sure you're making the best choice for yourself always. Prioritize yourself always. Tip two is become comfortable with being alone. This is just a really important life skill I think is always good to have, especially as we go into the college years, maybe even post grad and having our own jobs and being adults. As I'm sure you know already, there are many lonely times as a transfer student, and they're just going to keep happening. You're not going to find your people immediately and everything's going to be amazing. You're still going to be alone. That's not a bad thing to be alone. I love being alone. I use it as a time to reset, as a time to treat myself. Sounds a little loser, but it's not. It's not like loser-esque. It's so much fun being alone. You have to get to that point where you're not afraid to not be busy. If I don't have my alone time, I kind of tweak out a little bit. And that's a good problem to have because that means I'm okay with being alone. I'll probably end up making a separate video about this too because I just think it's a very unique skill to be developed, and I'm not even there yet. Sometimes I really don't want to be alone. I just want to be busy. And I've fallen into those plenty. It's not easy, but it's definitely a really important skill to familiarize yourself with. And it's harder than you think. Tip number three is join clubs, social groups, everything. What I always say with people struggling to make friends, join clubs because they have to be your friends, literally. You have to get along with them and it fulfills your social needs. Sometimes I never had anything to do and I just have one club meeting for the day, and that just made me feel very fulfilled. Just enough. A lot of times it also opens doors to other people and other communities. If you join this club and they say, hey, you also need to attend this club for us, I would say, all right, okay, I'll go to this. And then you end up meeting all these people just for that. Or they host an event and you get to talk to these people that you're like, wait, aren't you in my class? And then it all happens and then you end up being closer. That's how this stuff happens. Giving more opportunities for nature to work. You're letting it happen naturally, but you're giving the universe more opportunities to let that happen naturally. Tip number 4 is find your spots. Now, this isn't really a social focused one, but it still really helps me fit into my school and helped times when I was alone feel a lot better. Find places outside of your dorm where you can still relax. Last year, I had a roommate. I don't match well with a roommate. I've noticed this over the past 2 years. And so when I struggle with that and I needed to be out of my room by myself, I went to my spots. I have a nice cafe I really like. Sometimes in the morning I'd go there. I have a specific spot, the dining hall. That's always my spot. I also have some study spots around the campus just to those are my spots, you know. Just get your spot. It gives you time to relax outside of your dorm. And also, it makes you feel much more connected to the school you're in. You have your spots. This is your place within this community, and it kind of all ties it together in the end. And the last tip, of course, is don't be too hard on yourself. I wish I told myself more. I tell myself this every single day, and I still can't. I can't stop being hard on myself. But this is so difficult. Transferring is not for the weak. It is difficult. Nobody ever talks about it. I don't even know why. If you aren't finding your friends right away, or if this isn't happening, one, those things don't happen immediately. If you feel like things are getting stagnant and things feel weird and you could have been trying more, don't think that, because I wish I would have shook myself freshman year and sophomore year and said, oh my god, Mary, relax, because you're so thinking too much. Just relax, just give yourself a break, because you try so hard, you really do, and it's tough because you're trying to push yourself, but also not too much. But also, if you don't push yourself enough, then you're like, oh, I should have pushed myself. It's just this really weird balance, and it's hard. This is a difficult process. So if you aren't being amazing, don't shame yourself for that. Don't let yourself do that. If you're somebody who lives close to home, go home. Don't be like, oh, I should stay. Oh, I should stay the weekend because go home. If you have nothing to do, go home. That's what I always tell myself. If I don't have anything to do on the weekends when I'm on campus, I just go home. If there's something for me here to do, I'll stay. But if there's nothing, I go home. You need to be kind to yourself. It's like you have to do this again. You already did it your freshman year, didn't go so well, and now you have to do it again. Most people don't have to do it again. There's going to be a lot of times of change in your future, and it's nice that we get exposure to this, but it just means we go through it a lot more. Don't be too hard on yourself. Let yourself relax and breathe and take care of yourself. Those are the 5 tips I have for you guys. I never thought I was going to transfer. I didn't know that you could transfer. I always thought that you pick your school and you're at your school and then you like it. That's what happens. And no one ever discusses how complex this is, the feelings and emotions and difficulties you have to go through. Hoping I can bring light to these issues a bit more and have some conversations about it and make some people feel better out there, because I wish I had somebody to make myself feel better 2 years ago and a year ago. It does get better. I know my past self would hate me for saying that, because it does get better and it still feels like it isn't the best, but it's getting better, and eventually you're going to be there. It just might take some time and you'll be patient. And in the meantime, you're going to do the best you can, and it's going to be all right. Everything happens for a reason. I appreciate you guys for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe and maybe leave a comment about your transfer experience, about anything that you're scared about, anything that you want me to talk about more. I'd be happy to. You've got this. Stay strong. All right, thanks for watching.